One of the adjustments which we discussed while looking into the profit and loss appropriation account was interest on capital. Let us look at this term in detail and also discuss how to calculate such interest on capital. When a partner has taken the risk to park his money in the partnership firm, the firm pays him a certain consideration in return, which is a certain percentage of the money that he has parked in the firm. That money which a partner puts into the firm is his capital, and the consideration he gets in return for the same is the interest on capital. Interest on partners' capital is allowed only when it is expressly agreed upon among the partners. Once expressly agreed and provided in the deed, then such interest is allowed for the time frame for which the partner's capital has remained in the business during a financial year. So, while making the calculation of interest on capital, the time period for which the money or the capital has remained in the business is of the utmost importance. The interest on capital is not a big issue if the partners have put in equal amounts of capital and also share the profits equally and have maintained their capital in the business for an equal time frame. However, the real business world is not so easy to operate. Also, the payment of interest on capital becomes very important in the following situations. Firstly, when the partners have contributed unequal amounts of capital but are sharing the profits equally, then the partner who has put in more capital should be compensated for having put in more money but taking an equal share of profit. Let us understand this with an example. Say Mr. A and Mr. B are two partners. A has put in a capital of 1 lakh and B has put in a capital of 80,000 and they are not paying any interest on their capitals. Now, if the profit of the firm is 1 lakh, then A gets 50,000 and B gets 50,000, right? Because they are sharing their profits equally. Now they decide to pay an interest on their capital for 5% per annum. Now what happens? At 5%, A will first get a interest on capital of 5,000 and B will get an interest of 4,000 rupees. With this, what happens is the distributable profit is now 1 lakh minus this 9,000. That is 1 lakh minus 9,000, which is 91,000 is the distributable profit. Out of that, the profits are shared equally. So, A will get 45,500 and B will get 45,500. So, A, what will he get totally? His interest on capital plus his share of profits, the total will be 50,500. For B, his interest on capital and his share of profits will be totally 49,500. So, this difference of 1,000 between A and B is the additional compensation for Mr. A for his additional capital. The second scenario, which warrants the payment of interest on capital, is where the capital contribution is the same, but the profit sharing is unequal. Then the partner who receives lesser share of profit should be compensated for him receiving the lesser share of profit despite putting in an equal amount of capital. Let us understand this with an example. Again, say Mr. A and Mr. B are two partners who have put in a capital of 1 lakh each. So, both have put in same amount of capital, but they are sharing their profits in the ratio of 3:2. That is, they are sharing their profits unequally. Now, if the profit of the firm is say 50,000, how will they share it? A will get 30,000 and B will get 20,000. Now they decide to pay out a 5% per annum interest on capital. So what happens now? Firstly, out of the profits, interest on capital is paid out. So A will get 5,000 and B will also get 5,000 as their interest on capital. How much is the profit remaining now after the interest on capital has been paid out? 50,000 minus 10,000, which is 40,000. Out of this 40,000, now A will get 3 by 5 and B will get 2 by 5. So A will get 24,000 and B will get 16,000. So the total amount that will be payable to A from the firm will be 5,000 of interest on capital and 24,000, which is his share of profit. That is a total of 29,000. And what is payable to B will be 5,000, which is his interest on capital, and 16,000, which is his share of profit, that is 21,000. Now you can see the difference here. Without the interest on capital, B was supposed to get 20,000, and after the interest on capital is paid, he gets 21,000. So this difference that B gets up and above what he would have got if the profits were directly distributed is a compensation for having put in equal capital as Mr. A but getting a lesser share of profit. Now let us see how this interest on capital is calculated. First and foremost, on the opening balance of capital, interest is to be calculated for the whole year. Further, on any additional capital introduced, interest is to be calculated from the day the capital is brought into the firm till the last day of the accounting period. This is basically to calculate the interest on capital for the time period such capital remains in the business. The amount so arrived is added to the interest calculated on the opening capital. Further, on any capital withdrawn, the interest has to be calculated from the date of withdrawal to the end of the financial year. This is done so that we can calculate the interest for the period for which the capital was not in the firm, and the same can be deducted from the total of the interest calculated on the opening capital and the additional capital. The calculation of interest on capital is an important aspect from the point of view of examination. The question may just randomly state some additions and withdrawals of capital along with dates. You have to be aware that the calculation of interest should also be done on withdrawals and additional contributions, as we have discussed here. Let us take a little example here. Mr. A is a partner in a firm and his opening balance of capital is rupees 1 lakh. The interest on capital being paid in that firm is 5% per annum, and the accounting period that they follow is April to March. On June 30th, Mr. A introduces additional capital of rupees 10,000. On September 30th, he withdraws rupees 20,000. And on December 31st, he further introduced rupees 25,000 as capital. So now let us look at how to calculate the interest on capital, given that we have already seen the interest on capital rate as 5% per annum. Here, first let us calculate the interest on the opening balance of capital, that is 1 lakh into 5%, that is rupees 5,000. Next, we calculate the interest on the additional capital introduced. So, one additional capital was introduced on June 30th. So, that is 10,000 into 5%, that is 5 by 100, into the remaining number of months, that is 9 by 12, which is rupees 375. And another additional capital was introduced on December 31st. So on that also we will calculate the interest as 25,000 into 5% into remaining number of months after December 31st, that is January, February, March. So 3 by 12, which will be 312.50 rupees. Now, next we will calculate the interest on withdrawn capital from the date it is withdrawn till the end of the year or end of the accounting period. So that will be 20,000 which was withdrawn on September 30th. So 20,000 into 5% into after September 30th, October, November, December, January, February, March, 6 by 12. So that gives us 500 rupees. So now the total interest on capital for the year towards Mr. A is 5,000 plus 375 plus 312.5 and minus 500. That is a total of rupees 5,187 rupees and 50 paise.